All right, everyone, here we are with ticker symbol HYLN, Hyliion Holdings Corp, or if you want to pronounce it in another way as well, however works best for you, Hyliion Holdings Corp. This was previously SHLL, Tortoise Acquisition Inc., and here we are seeing the chart having a bullish run before the merger. There was a lot of uncertainty a couple weeks before it, almost for the whole month of September. It dipped to lows here of 33 and some change. I had been saying that if that got broken through, this could start to see newer lows. And we're going to zoom in just a second to see how low we are below it or how close we are to it. And then it started to run again, hitting highs here of 54 and some change. So $54 needs to be crossed in the short term for the bulls to have a recovery and turn this one around. And in the long term, which is the highest point that this reached, was up here at 58 and some change. So let's zoom in here and see where this fell and how low are we below it. So the lowest point that it reached before this run, before the whole announcement of the merger and changing ticker symbols, was at 33.38, and we are currently right now at 33.10. This could start to see newer lows and newer support levels. So we've reached that point. I had stated if it got broken through, this could start to see newer lows and newer support levels, and that is where we're heading, and we'll have to see what is going on. But let's go ahead and move this to its new locations, our support levels here. And obviously this resistance is still important if you want to keep it in mind and write it down. It's the first resistance of the peak here, the highest point of the day yesterday, that this could start to reach newer highs and break away from the 50-day moving average if it does get crossed at 40.42. But let's go ahead and move this to its new locations down here so we can see here what our resistance is and what's important for tomorrow. So this ticker symbol right now is in a very bearish run, and honestly the bears are bringing this one down to newer lows. So the 50-day moving average right now is 38.20. 38.20 is an important number. Let's see if I can land right on it. It's not jumping around, but 38.20 is the 50-day moving average. As long as we're below it, the bears are in control. The moment we cross it and we start to hit newer highs, the bulls are starting to gain control and we are back in bullish territory. Right now we're in bearish territory and it's at 33.10. This could start to see newer lows in the next couple of minutes, 2 hours, or it could kind of hang out around that area, and we're going to have to pay close attention. But right now, our lowest support right now in the day was 32.48. If the bears break through that, this could start to see newer lows and hit newer support levels and start to hit further away from the 50-day moving average, getting the bears much more control, hitting newer lows and further away from the 50-day moving average. That's their goal. That's what they want to do. They want to pull this away as far as possible. That's what the bears want to do, from the 50-day moving average in a downward direction. So I want to emphasize that at 32.48, I'd pay very close attention to the behavior of this stock. What is going on? How quickly is it moving to newer lows? Are the bulls even trying to reappear? And what is the catalyst that's forming in those moments? I'd put my 5-minute, 1-minute, 15-minute charts, even the 30-minute, just to see the different behaviors and what's going on. But I do want to emphasize to every investor, if it breaks through 32.48, I'd pay very close attention to the behavior and how quickly is it hitting newer lows, or are the bulls even trying to reappear and bring this back up? Now, on the other end, we have what the bulls want, and the bulls need to break through this, and by breaking through this resistance, which is the highest peak in the bullish candlesticks, and then quickly after there was a slight higher peak, but it became very bearish quickly, was at 36.06. That's why I'm disregarding it. This is the last point where the bulls had some control here on the candlesticks and we could see it, and that is 35.83. This resistance level being broken does not mean that the bulls have gained control and that they have any leverage over this stock chart or ticker symbol at all. This is just giving us a sense of direction as investors where this is heading, and it's starting to head towards closer to the 50-day moving average where the bulls need to reach and pass. So this just gives us a sense of direction, but does not mean that the bulls have gained control. The bulls need to break through 35.83, turn that into a support to start to head towards the 50-day moving average of 38.20, which is very important number, like I've been stating, for the bulls to go ahead, break through, turn into a support, and get back into bullish territory. So that's what's very important right now for the bulls. Now, before getting there, the first resistance level that they're going to want to break through is 35.83. Turn that into a support and break through from there. I mean, I had been stating it in the last videos. If 33 and some change does get broken through, as we saw earlier here, and this is a really close one. So the tug of war tomorrow is going to be very interesting. If the bulls go ahead and decide to reappear and bring this one back up and even break through this resistance and start to work their way up closer to the 50-day moving average, they've actually stopped this from hitting newer lows. But if that gets broken through, this will start to see newer support levels and newer lows, because $33 and some change and up here as well before that bullish run leveled off and continued. $33 was a very important number. The next one after that would be way down here at 27, and that's something to not worry about right now, but to keep in mind. We'll go into more detail about that later on if this continues to hit newer lows. But right now it slightly crossed that 33 and some change mark, and we're at 33.10. If this breaks through support, this could be on its way to newer lows, newer support levels, and moving its way further away from the 50-day moving average in a downward direction. As always, if you found this video helpful and informative, please do so and subscribe. Share this with your friends and community. Don't forget to hit the like button. And at the end of this video, there's going to be a pop-up video. In that video, I will be discussing about the S&P 500 and how the S&P 500 has been reacting on certain specific dates due to the Federal Reserve scheduled pump dates. It doesn't guarantee you money. It doesn't mean that you're going to make profits. You have to do your due diligence and research. It's just information that I want to share with every investor to take advantage of, because there is an opportunity to make profits if you play it out right, and if it goes out in the way that the charts have been showing and they've proven it. And on these scheduled dates, the S&P 500 tends to rise several points. Either it levels it off from falling even harder, or it actually rises it up back to newer levels, and newer resistance levels are broken within the S&P 500 index. Well, what does that mean for us as investors? Well, if the S&P 500 index is rising, that means that individual ticker symbols in the S&P 500 are rising with it. And these ticker symbols are rising 30 cents to $3 and maybe even more per share. I know per share doesn't sound like a lot, but per share that does add up. And like I always say, profits are profits. I highly encourage you guys to check it out. I'm not telling you to buy, sell, or hold. I'm just here to enlighten everyone, every viewer and investor, on the great news that there's an opportunity to maximize profits and minimize losses. Check it out. It's popping up soon. If it hasn't already, click on it. And thank you guys so much for watching, and let's make some money.